Recording is on.
There we go. We've got our recording going. So just to give you guys a bit of an introduction, my name's Mel, and I've been working for bitgrit for about a year now. And I'll be acting as the facilitator today for this open dev call. As well, the topic of this particular dev call will be to do with a competition that we're launching on the 1st of November. This competition is to do with foreign exchange and currency exchange. And the prize money as a total breakdown of 10,000 USD is 6,000 USD for the first prize winner, 3,000 USD for the second prize winner, and 1,000 USD for the third prize winner. Just to give you guys a little bit of context about what you're getting. Can I just ask if you're not speaking, just to mute your microphone, just so that we don't have any background noise coming in while people are speaking. And also, if you're able to stop your video as well, just that way, that means that we're able to save on bandwidth, particularly for those that have a poor connection. All right, with that, I'd like to introduce Andy. Andy's going to give us a little bit of a chat about what he does at bitgrit and what his background is. And then he's going to go into detail to discuss the competition that'll be coming out on the 1st of November. Andy, you ready to go?
Sure. Can you hear me?
Yep, you're coming through nice and clearly. It's all yours.
Okay, perfect. Thank you for the introduction and housekeeping tips, Mel. And good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for calling in. And maybe I should say good morning because I'm in New York and it's 3 a.m. here. But I'm pretty happy because I'm going to have a literally a long day today. So a little bit about myself. Andy Seguino from bitgrit, working in data science, business development. And I'm also on LinkedIn, so please feel free to send a connection request. So lately I've been working primarily on the SoftBank competition, particularly around setting the guidelines and the data preparation. So using next 10 to 15 minutes, I will talk about the overview of the competition and also what data sets are going to be provided, how we measure the performance and such. And then we can move on to the Q&A session. So by the end of this call, everyone feels comfortable and ready to start the competition. So first and foremost, background of the competition. So the reason why SoftBank is sponsoring this competition is that they're going to develop the foreign exchange system, also known as forex system, for its clients doing business internationally. And that system is aimed to offer guaranteed exchange rate on the transaction date. And oftentimes the transaction date and the settlement date are different. So fixing the exchange rate for its clients means SoftBank is exposed to foreign exchange. So they need to predict what the exchange rate is likely to be on the settlement date and use hedging techniques like buying or selling currencies or buying currency options, so on and so forth. So in this competition, we're going to predict the exchange rate on the last day of each month. So for example, today is 26th. I guess it's Saturday your time, but let's say this is one of the weekdays. So we need to predict the exchange rate on 31st, October 31st. And then tomorrow we still predict the exchange rate on 31st, and then goes after 31st. And then on 31st, we start predicting the rate on the last day of November. So November 30th, and we start over from 1st, 2nd, 3rd, so on and so forth. And the second, the data sets we're going to use, we're going to provide different kinds of data relevant to currency market. So those are commodities or other exchange rates which will affect each other, and market indices like NASDAQ or Nikkei 225, for example. And also you're gonna have economic news data, which is all transformed into numeric values using 300 dimensions word vector, also known as word embedding. And this is one of the most interesting features of this competition, I would say, since we'll see how the news data or text would affect the exchange rate. And if you're following the market recently, you might know that the famous president of the United States, Mr. Trump, tweets something about trade deal, Fed policies, exchange rate, et cetera, market moves, and it moves pretty quickly. And one reason is that there's an algorithm behind the trading system that execute the transaction based on what he says. So, I'm personally very excited to see how much the news is going to be predicted. And next, how the algorithms will be measured. So we're going to use root mean square error. So basically, that's pretty straightforward. We're going to see the degree of variance between the prediction and the actual value. Because this competition, you're going to predict the continuous values. And last but not least, I want to talk about the leaderboard. And as you can see on our platform, we currently don't have one, but it'll be implemented sometime in late November. And you'll see one public leaderboard, and you can see how your algorithm is doing among all competitors. And private leaderboard will be published after the competition ends. And on that private leaderboard, you'll see who got first, second, and third place in the final ranking. So that's pretty much about it. Mel, do you want to move on to the Q&A session, or you already have questions submitted?
Yeah, sure. So just to let you guys know, if you do have any questions and you don't want to use your voice, just chuck them into the chat on the side there. If you do want to speak, there is a little icon of a hand over in the bottom left-hand side right next to the chat. Just click on that, and that means you can raise your hand and ask a question. But first off, we have a question from Shubham for you, Andy. How much prerequisite knowledge of the working of the markets do we require to solve this competition? Would you be able to, is that something you're able to answer, Andy?
Yeah, sure. So so there are two ways to answer the question. So if you're already in the market, and that definitely helps because you kind of know how the system works. That said, even if you don't know how the market works, you can always think about this way, using unknown labels to predict something. So that's where the algorithms really come into play. Even if you don't know about what the each label means, you might be able to get the really good algorithm to get like nice prediction or nice accuracy. So short answer is no, you don't need expertise in this field. You can always join the competition and get the good result.
Cool, Shubham, did that answer your question? Cool, Shubham said thanks. I'm sure he's happy with that. Do we have any questions from anybody else for today? So if you guys do want to ask a question, just press the little button down the bottom left-hand corner where it says raise and lower your hand. And then I can jump to you guys if you have anything in particular. And just for those latecomers that have come in, we will be posting the entirety of this meeting onto our YouTube channel. So if you want to go back and sort of have a look at what's being talked about today, you'll have a chance. We've got a question here. If I know R and statistics good, can I be called a data scientist? Is the question.
Oh, okay. So it's not about the competition, right? I think so. I think so. You just need the experience and the passion, to become, that data scientist. I would say because, I can give you my personal example. I started out my career as sales, and now I'm a data scientist. So, and I didn't have any stats background or math background. I majored in finance and business management back in college. But if you wanna be something, and if you put a lot of effort into it, then you can become one.
Yeah, just along those lines, I've got another question from Anon. So newbies can participate in this competition. Yeah, this is one that I'm happy to answer. So really, the vision that came about that brought bitgrit about was the idea of democratizing AI. So by having these competitions on an online platform, we wanted to make it so that we could give anybody the opportunity to actually make money out of data science, and it's not just got to do with you having a PhD or a degree or anything like that. It's giving you the opportunity that if you have the passion and the will to learn, you can go through and you can make real money about this. Going forth, we'll have more features that will aid in this vision. But definitely, yeah, anybody can participate in the competition. The links I provided above on the chat. So if you want to give it a shot, go ahead. There's plenty of resources online for us to be able to help you out with this competition. And you can always shoot us something on social media and we'll see what we can do to help out, even if it's just linking you to different lessons or things like that. Just on that note, we've got another note from Dipanshu. Andy, thanks for the wonderful explanation. Can you please describe more about the data features? Are the participants allowed to use external open source data as well? Thanks.
Yeah, that's something I wasn't prepared. You caught me off guard, man. Not really, because that's the data we're gonna use. You know, once we decide who's the winner of this competition, we're gonna use the exact same data to make a prediction in the real world. So I would say no. Just please use the data provided in the platform.
Is it possible that if you manipulated external data, Andy, that it would then be possible to, if you were basically training the same algorithm or the same model on that data, if you were to calibrate it in such a way that it was compatible, is that possible?
I don't think so, because then it's not going to be reproducible. We can't reproduce the same algorithm outside that data, even if that's publicly available.
Okay, that makes sense. All right, do we have any more questions from anybody? Alrighty, I'm guessing not. Yeah, if you do have any more questions, I'll chuck your hand up or just chuck a message into the chat and we'll finish that off. If not, if you think of something a little bit further on that you wish that you would have asked, you can always reach out to us on social media and we'll endeavor to do our best to answer those queries for you. Cool, yeah, just on that note, so if you guys go to competition.bitgrit.net, which is, I've chucked that link into the chat. And if you haven't signed yourself up, you'll be able to go through and have a look at the details that we have at the competition at the moment. And then everything else will be out on the 1st of November. Just to give you a rundown of the prize money again, so we're looking at $6,000 for the winning model. In second place is 3,000, and third place is 1,000, and that's all in USD. Oh, look, we've got a continuation questions here. Andy, like there are different kind of sources like weather, social media, etc., which might also affect forex trading. Can you elaborate if that is provided for the problem?
Oh, sorry, could you say that again? I missed the last part.
Andy, like there are different kinds of sources like weather, social media, etc., which might also affect forex trading. Can you elaborate if that is provided for the problem? So that's a continuation of the last question, I believe.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so we're not going to provide any social media. So all the data we're going to provide will be the commodities, exchange rate, and market indices and news data. That's it. No social media data.
Cool. Does that answer your question, Dipanshu? It does take a couple of seconds to type that stuff out. Yeah, just while we're waiting, do we have any other questions? Thanks, Andy. Okay, I think that's the end of that thread. Yeah, do we have anything from anybody else? I see Ashish just joined. Any questions from your side? Hi, Ashish. Yeah, so just once again, for all of you latecomers, seeing as you might have mixed out at the start of the meeting and missed a little bit of context, I have been recording this meeting, so we'll upload it to our YouTube channel. You'll be able to find links to that on our Facebook, and I'm not sure if it's on other social media, but if not, just on YouTube, just search bitgrit, and it should be the first link that comes up. And yeah, we should have that uploaded within 24 hours, and you'll be able to come back and have any reference. Yet again, if you guys have any questions that you've thought of after the fact, just feel free to reach out to us on social media, and we'll try and get back to you as soon as possible. Yeah, and I think that's about it. Do you have anything else to finish off with, Andy?
Well, again, thank you so much for calling in, and I look forward to seeing you all in the competition.
Wonderful. Thanks, everybody. Thank you for attending. Oh, wait, one more question.
Sure.
What kind of future competitions bitgrit is planning to host? Waiting for NLP problems. Do you have any leads on that, Andy?
Well, so NLP, if you want to do NLP, this is the one, because we're providing the text data, although it's already transformed into numeric values. But there you go.
Sweet, there you go. That's a positive. Got it. Cool. All right, we've come away with somebody quite happy there. All right. Well, thank you for joining us, Andy. Thank you for everybody else for coming in and joining the call today. And we'll see you next month.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, everyone. Have a good afternoon, evening, or morning, depending on your time zone. All right. See you next time.
See ya. Bye.